are live here on Kim and the Cities TV YouTube channel. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to Kim and the Cities TV 1. And I'm going to make a cake. Now it's time to make a cake. So I have some bananas and I have some ginger that I want to use. I don't want them to go bad. I already see like it's kind of like little white mold spores that are starting to grow here. The skin I'm going to discard and I'm going to utilize. I'm already growing my strong. Personally, everybody has like a different tolerance level. For me, I'm sensitive to it, so it's like super strong. So I'm not going to use the entire thing for it. Super aromatic, but a little zest in there I think will be nice, and it's super healthy. The health for the cake, and then I'll use the rest of it for tea. That'll be magnificent. Just straight up ginger cake. It's too much for me. It's too strong. A little zest. Tea, I could drink it. I could drink the tea. I could drink it as a tea. So I put some banana, put them in. Speed up the process. We're just going to use what we have. All right, so with the paste, so it has to cook, boil enough to take out the aluminum from the can that it's in, that aluminum taste. I'm going to use. Just going to use this bowl. Very simple, and I'm all about easy peasy bumblebeesy. You know, my style is very simple. You know, but I love French cuisine, and I'd have to say French and Italian are the top two, right? The kind of style that I like. You know, the flavor, my flavor profile. Asian, I absolutely, you know, repertoire, if you will. That, good stuff. Just using the sweeteners that I have. So, flour, sugars, just get. So I'm going. Tell you what. The butter and the bank, and all as much as possible. Of course, sometimes I'm frugal. I shop the circular. You know, look at the ingredients. It's not all organic, all natural, but you know, in there. Okay, so here's the butter. It's room temp and full, which is nice. Butter on my hands. I'm gonna wash my hands. See the will work. All right, so I have the butter in there, and see, I'm going to start with the confection sugar, and I like this. Everything in moderation. Let's see, I think the measuring with the confectioner sugar versus regular. What's this? It's gluten-free, kosher certified, halal, sugarcane origin. Oh well. Oh well, I'm gonna start. Start. 2 teaspoons. I'll make it sweet. 2 heaping teaspoons. Start with that first. Add the agave. You know what? It reminds me of cotton candy. It's confectioner sugar. I'm not a big fan of cotton candy, but that's what it tastes like. So now, what we're going to do is sugar until it's all blended. And I like to really be mindful of my calorie intake and cholesterol intake as far as butter and oil, but you know, butter and oil does make it taste good. So all right, so I mixed it as much as possible. It's kind of a little crumbly right now because there's tons of sugar, but I'm just working with what I have, you know. So now I'm going to add the and I'm just throwing the bananas in here whole. And so this is like a banana cake. It's a banana ginger. We're making a banana ginger cake today. So these aren't fully ripe, but you know, they're not firm. They're pretty mushy, but they're not at their peak of ripeness, if you will, where the skin is completely brown or black, if you will. And at that point, sometimes, you know, there's liquid that releases from it. There's mold spores. You might see white mold spores coming out. That's when you know it's ripe and ready to make a banana loaf bread, banana cake, what, you know, whatever you like to call it, whatever kind of cake you're making, if you will. All right, so I touched the bananas. Now I have banana fingers, so I have to wash my hands. All right, now I have a little pinch of salt here in the corner I'm going to use. Don't want to be wasteful. I'll just add it in there. Just a little pinch. Maybe even a little pinch more. A lot of sugar in there. Flowers going in there. Okay, and now I'm just gonna mash I'm gonna mash the bananas into the sugar. Okay, the mix. What I'm going to do is add milk. Plant-based options now. It's so good. At first, the market was really limited to it. Now, with the ingredients, I don't like to over mix it because then it becomes gummy. I mean, I'm a novice to cooking. Really, like, I'm learning as I go, you know. My experience working with food has been in restaurants, you know. I was a server, hostess, bartender, in the kitchen as the, you know, as a chef working that, you know, working the line. But I didn't want to because it's way too hot in there. It's way too hot in the kitchen. And, you know, but in my kitchen, I'll work in my kitchen, you know, because I'm able to regulate how it is. But yeah, so, you know, baking to me is something that, like, I want to master eventually. Right now, I'm renovating, making a living here, you know, Kim in the Cities TV. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe. But it actually is kind of liquid. The liquid has released, and I'll show you. So I was thinking of adding some milk, you know, at this. Right now, it's already like mixed with the sugar. Really good. It tastes real good. I wonder, you know what? It's sweet to the point. I'm not going to do the agave. I'm going to put the agave away. And it's gonna be real good. I'm gonna zest the ginger. I'm gonna put the ginger in there so it can blend in with the banana. The ginger. Some people use a spoon. I typically use like a spoon. I don't know. I don't know if I'll have enough to make the tea out of this one. I don't think so. I'll use the other one. I still have ginger left over. Ginger's awesome for sushi. Mixing it with your soy sauce. Woo! That's one of the reasons why it's made, what it's meant for, in my personal opinion, is tea and sushi. The ginger. And now this beautiful cake that we're making, this beautiful cake. I've never made a banana ginger. but I think it's going to be beautiful. I think it's going to mix beautifully here. So I'm excited. It's going to take about an hour to cook the way I make it. Low and slow, if you will. I'm really just working on like perfecting my recipes, you know. I'm very health conscious when it comes to cooking, so let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna use a knife. Just gonna use my little paring knife. Kitchen utensils, you know, it's you always want the tools, the right tools to accomplish, you know, to accomplish whatever you need in order to get you, like transportation, you know, it's a tool to get you there. Machine. And so in the kitchen, you know, having the proper tools makes everything so and grate it. I might use the whole thing. The health properties. Well, I have them in the garden, but we're gonna stay on track here. It's just the banana ginger. Venture out, make a tzatziki sauce with that mint. Ooh. Yes. Work on the gyro recipe. I have to work on my gyro recipe. That's gonna be good. Proper choice is gonna be magical. So, yeah. I want to shred my fingers. Whoops. Gotta be careful now. Yes. Okay, I think that's fine. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to shred my fingers now. Shreds it. Ginger skin on that. All right, so I'm gonna mix it. Not too much, just a little. Ooh, yes. I don't know. I kind of want to add more ginger, but I don't want to overdo it. I wanna get it, but I don't want it to be overpowering. You know, just a little, like, just a whisper. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, we don't need too much of that now. It's good stuff. Oh yeah, it's good stuff. Okay, okay. Ginger, a little bit goes a long way. All right, so at this juncture, I'm going to preheat the oven at 350. And every oven temp may have like a different heating, you know, temperature at which, you know, you'll be satisfied in which your baking goods are going to come. come out. So definitely like a gas stove. This is an electric, and a gas stove, it may be different, you know. So I can't say from experience. Mine's an electric stove. And now I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put the sugar away. I think we're good with the sugar. You know, sweetness from the banana. I think the sweetness is going to sweeten the flour. It's going to season the flour beautifully. The ginger skin, so throw that away. Oh no, we're not throwing that away. We're gonna put that in the soil. I have to make sure I don't throw that away. Actually, let's just put this over here. All right, now go ahead and add the flour. And in baking, everything is like a measurement. As far as the flour is concerned, I measure the flour. I measure what I put in just to kind of keep track and see like what I'm doing, because everything is like experimental. I'm just learning as we go. All right, so let's see. So for me, it's just I'm a single person, and so I'm experimenting with the cake recipes as well. So what I do, I pretty much or two, depending on the cake, because sometimes sometimes I'll eat the whole thing, or other times I'll take out the crust, you know. So it just kind of depends, but for the most part, for myself, I use about a cup to a cup and a cup and 1/4 of a cup, okay, for the cake. And that just kind of depends. So like if my mix is like super, super wet, then add a little more flour. But pretty much like I start with a cup of flour and then I just work up from there. If I start with a cup of flour and I notice that it's still too liquidy, the mix, then I'll add another 1/4 cup more, and then I'll just take it from there. And then whenever I add milk, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends on the liquid, how liquefied the mix is. So if it's like super liquidy, then I'll add more flour and I won't add the milk. But sometimes after I add the milk, then it becomes too dry, So then before I add the milk, the flour, the milk, and then if it's too dry, then I'll add the milk. And take it from there. And then like pancakes, like literally, like the term pancakes, I was thinking about it. It's like you're literally just like making a cake in a pan. Because the batter, it's kind of like the same concept as making a cake. Oh, I gotta put it back. I talked about the whole thing, and then I forgot to put the flour. I only have about a cup left. I'm gonna have to get some more. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna start with the cup. And I level it. All right, so I'm at about a cup right now. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in there. The baking powder, I'm gonna go ahead and add in with the flour as well. I use a tablespoon of the baking powder in it. So, and I don't know, I like baking powder though. Oh. All right, so I need some more. Speaking of which, I need more baking powder. So we need more flour and we need more baking powder. Let me go to the grocery store. And I'm just gonna use the whole thing. I use like a big teaspoon, like a nice, generous, full teaspoon of baking powder. It's done, so we're gonna go ahead and move forward. Let me see. We got that. Let's go ahead and put it in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and mix everything together, and at this point I'll know if I'll need more liquid in it or not, because if it gets too thick, like it's too thick right now, and I don't want to over mix it, so at this juncture it's getting like super thick and doughy. And like, we're not making biscuits, we're making a cake. So we want to make sure that it's nice and moist and delicious, Because to me, like, my thing is like, I'm like super picky, and I'm not satisfied with the ingredients that are in the, goods that I'm finding. Like most of the stuff I can't even pronounce. That's a problem in my opinion, because I'll tell you what, when I make my cakes, I can tell you what's in it. Well, I can tell you the ingredients, So just one of those things. So I make my cakes, but So what I go for is like my cakes, I like them nice and moist, but with like a nice bounce, right? And then the flavor has to be absolutely delicious. All right, so I'm gonna add some milk to it. And then when I'm adding the milk, or whatever kind of like juice I'm gonna, I added a quarter cup, adding it a quarter cup at a time. That's just me, like everybody, different strokes for different folks, and everyone has a different taste as well. The pasta sauce is simmering on a low setting, medium low to be exact. All right, so go ahead and measure it out. It's a quarter cup. And I don't want to over mix it. Boom, 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 boom. All right, I think I need just a little bit more. So I'm going to add a quarter cup more. A little bit like this. Until I think sufficient. Like I didn't use the entire thing. There's like a little drop left. Let me see if I need that little drop. Because otherwise it's, you're making like a pudding. And that's not the goal here. We're making a cake. So we want it like dry but moist, but we're not making a pudding because You know, there's a difference between the custard and the cake. So here we go. Let's mix it, mix it, mix it. We want it smooth, but we don't want to overdo it. Boom, boom, boom. I think it's beautiful at this point, you know? Yeah, I mean, you know, it's an uppy waist white. That's fine. We could do that. And that's fine. So you can go ahead and put this off to the side. Put it in the sink. As far as our utensils are concerned, put it in the. Now I'm not going to over mix it, as you can see, you know, I'm not over mixing it. Just take it easy, take it nice and easy. And some more ginger. I think we're good. To oil the pan. I have butter, so I'm going to go ahead and use some butter to oil the pan. You do that so that the cake doesn't stick to it. Right, because it's usually the balloon. Party long. All right, so what can I say? When nature calls, you have to answer. So moving, it's, you know, it's cold, so use what I have. Just gonna use it. Easy, easy, go easy. No big deal. No big deal. Can't get any more silverware. I don't want to get any more dishes dirty. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to take the stickless spoon off so that the batter doesn't stick to it. Because if the batter sticks to the pan, then it makes it harder to clean, you know? And when you're cleaning, the easier and more practical it is, the better. I think, in my personal opinion. The easier it is, the more practical it is, the better. To have like a worst case scenario, I mean, I would find soap and I would wash my hands. You know, it is what it is. I have very high standards in the kitchen. All right, here we go. All right, so this, oh, she is looking beautiful. The baking powder kind of adds like a, we don't want to overdo it. Beautiful. It adds like, it makes it bubble, the little bubble, the bubbles. A little chunky monkey, but you know what? I'm loving it. I'm loving it. You know, so she's gonna bake for an hour. The oven's already preheated. She's gonna bake for an hour. She's gonna have to cool for an hour as well. Raw dough, we don't want that raw dough. It has to all be mixed. And this is going to go nice with the ice cream. I love adding ice cream to my cake. I don't know, it's just going to mix it like a pudding kind of thing. And I'm a big pudding fan, but like, or like custard, like the moist, I don't know. It's just, it's good. It's a different way to eat the cake, you know? Like I like eating it in a variety of ways. I think it's gonna be good. Should be good. All right. Okie dokie, artichoke. Let's go ahead and put that here. 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 The noodles as well. Pasta sauce is pretty much ready. It's just simmering on low, which that's fine. Slow and low makes it even better. Spaghetti, I think, tastes done when it's done properly. Spaghetti, I think, is like one of those things. Yeah, it's simple, but you either nail it or you fail it. You know, there's no in between. You know, some are edible, fantastic, but the next day it's always better than the next day. Just gonna hit it. Gonna even it out, level it up, just like pour it in here, just so it doesn't like all. So the batter isn't all in the middle and it separates. Kind of give it a little shake, even it out, and then just let it drop. Not so high because the pan is made out of Pyrex glass, and I don't want it to shatter. So just a little bit. And then a new technique that I'm using is doing the Baño María, which is the double boiler. For that, I'm gonna need this, the roaster that I had put up earlier. Use this. Actually, let's take this out. Once I'm done using it, go ahead. Put everything back in. So I'm gonna use my roasting pan. I'm not investing in any like kitchen tools right now because my time, my energy is renovating the condo and getting it ready for rental 2020. So all the energy is going, you know, so I just use what I have and that's it. So right now I'm using my roasting pan, nothing fancy schmancy. This one's a KitchenAid, it's pretty good. I just don't like it when it rusts, you know. I like it when the pan rusts. So I'm filling it up. I'm filling up the water to, I like it to be over the batter where the batter is being measured, you know, so like the batter is here. I want at least that much water just to match it or exceed it, you know, because the cake, the batter, it's going to lift as it bakes. So, I mean, let me take a look here. It looks pretty good. It looks good. But really, I try to get it as high as possible, just so that it's fully, like, enthralled in the water. And, but enough space to where, because afterwards, the water is going to be real hot. And I'm going to have to take the cake out of the water. But I don't want the water to spill into the cake because we have already mixed the cake and we have already mixed the batter. So everything's already mixed. If you add water to your cake now, you're going to ruin your cake. So that's kind of like what I do. And now the oven is preheated at 350. And I'm going to go ahead and add everything in. And I just want to be careful that I don't burn myself and that I don't add water to the batter. Spill anything. This oven is next. I have to clean this oven. Detail it. Because this oven is going to stay here for when we rent it out. Should be exciting. Should be exciting. I have some surprises I think that you guys are gonna like. So some nice little features that'll be included in the property. So I'll be excited. I think it's cool. So definitely stay tuned. Definitely subscribe to Kim in the Cities TV, channel 1, the first channel. Let's get it. We need 1,000 to be able to stream live mobily. All right. So with the cake is in there. I'm going to set the timer. I always set the timer so I don't lose track of time. And for the Baño Maria, it's always an hour. It's always an hour. I always set it for an hour. 350 for an hour. And that is with this oven. Now, you know, utilizing a different oven, it may be a different temperature. So this is the Whirlpool. So yes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. So, oh, the pasta. So with the pasta. This isn't going to take long. I'm going to boil the water and I'm going to cook the pasta. And then I'm gonna mix it in the sauce and I'm gonna eat. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do that now. All right. Make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And after the cake bakes and cools down and everything and is ready to be served and eaten, I will share the experience with you and show you how it comes out. Okay. She should be ready in an hour. We'll see. I'm taking it by ear, as I mentioned before. Let me know. Write your comments. Who knows? If you rent out this property, maybe, one of these cakes will be included, But I definitely have to nail the recipes. I mean, I will not share it unless it's absolutely perfect. Okay. And, there's legalities that are associated with it too. So I want to make sure that everything's tight and right, before I set off the excitement button, I press the excitement button. But there's a lot of exciting new things that are going to be popping up, but you guys are going to like it. There's going to be a lot of cool little features that are going to be available to you here at this condo in the West Chase District in Houston, Texas. So stay tuned because there's more to come. All right, and a lot more fun. So until next time, you guys, tune in later. Make sure you subscribe. Bye. Did it end? Oh, I don't think it did. What's this? Could be the computer. It's a little older. Let's see. Oh. Well, that's trying to figure. Yeah, it's still going. Jeez, doesn't want to shut down. Hang on now. There we go. As I mentioned before, I like to keep my noodles nice and long. Good wealth and prosperity. Wealth and prosperity. Yes. Ooh, we don't want to get that dirty. Ooh.